website.
Pure soul.
Man, we had a resounding passing away of the great Quincy Jones this morning. There's a part of me. He lived to 91 years old. Like if you get to 91, you had
he lived his life.
But I felt like I need like 4 or 5 more years from him, and just to get him online, just get them talking, because he would just be spilling stuff like, such and such did this. I just needed a little bit more than that.
Well, it was about to start, but then his daughter was like, "Nah, Daddy, come on."
Right.
Yeah, that's because sometimes you got to get your parents off of the TV screen, and you got to take Paul's keys away, and that's what happened with Quincy. We had to take Paul's keys away. That's it.
And you watch the documentary?
I have not, and so
he was getting mad at them because they hit his vodka. He was like, "I know my vodka was over here."
I've heard so much about it, and I wanted to watch it, and it's been on my list to watch on Netflix. And then last night, when I got the notification that he passed, it was like, oh man, I should totally watch the documentary now. But I was not awake enough for it, like at all. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as if I make it through the opening credits, it'll be a miracle. Like I can't. And even today, I've been just so busy today, like I didn't have time. So probably later on when we get done, then I'll watch, because I want to give it the attention that I need to give it. But it's with Quincy, like he's been around like always, right? Like he was young and was with the greats. And then the instrumentals or the things that he's done that I had no idea were him. Right. And how did I find out that it was something that he did recently? It was the Elle Varner from not Elle Varner, from Kill Bill, Elle Driver, her theme, right? Was looking for it for a reel. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? I don't know how to describe it. So I'm trying to type it in and blah, blah, blah. Wait, Quincy Jones? The fuck?
Yeah.
Bullshit. So, and then going down that rabbit hole and realizing like, man, like what is that? What are those royalties? Like, what is that?
What's that old, well, I don't know the original, but that song they was using in Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, again, so I'm saying, what are those royalties like?
All them TV show theme songs.
He produced 24 soundtracks for movies.
Right. Like I said, soundtracks.
24.
Soundtracks. So you got soundtracks, one, right? So soundtracks, you have the albums, like I said, but just those sounds, those that we, like I said, that Austin, like we know it from Austin Powers and don't even realize that, no, it was something else before that. Like, I mean, fine, it's a sample, but like Quincy Jones did it, but what was it originally for? Like, it's, what the hell? Like, it's I feel like when I started learning more about Dionne Warwick. Well, yes,
all the people that remade a whole bunch of her stuff.
Yeah, like with Dionne Warwick, I think with her, I think I just had no idea about what she had done. Quincy, you at least you know, but then you just continue to learn more. Like, oh shit, he did that too. So definitely there was a huge loss in music and other just in entertainment. With Quincy.
We'll never see a producer like that ever again. He had the ability to cross genres too, though.
Yeah.
And he was literally everywhere. And I think one of the things I think that Quincy doesn't get enough credit for is being able to evolve, and he kept up with a lot of younger people's music too. Like, I don't know if you guys even knew this, but that Back to the Block album, a lot of people hate, like the older people hated that album. And that was joints. That was fully when I kind of got into understanding who Quincy Jones was post Thriller and Mike stuff. Like you gotta remember on there, I'll Be Good to You is on there, Secret Garden is on there, Evan Campbell Tomorrow is on there.
So tomorrow, I guess for me, it's weird to say that's my introduction to Quincy Jones. Like growing up, I'd heard his name. I knew that he did stuff.
That Back on the Black album for our age is our introduction.
But tomorrow, for me, tomorrow is Tevin Campbell's song, right? But then, you get older, you be like, Quincy Jones, why is it that? Or with Tamia, with You Put a Move in My Heart. That's Tamia's song, but not realizing that that's on Q's Juke Joint. So, tomorrow was the introduction, but me not realizing it, Q's Juke Joint was absolutely the introduction to Quincy Jones for me.
Yeah, but at that time, a lot of the jazz and music and like purists were like, "Why are you chasing this young sound?" But that sound was in the pocket of what was going on then. Like literally, then he had Big Daddy Kane on there, Ice-T. He was reaching out to younger.
Was Heavy D on? Wasn't Heavy D on there?
Ooh, was Heavy D on that album?
I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing.
I know that he took a lot of backlash for that. But you got to think about like with that album. No, that album has hits on that for that era, for the 80s hits.
Yeah,
and they are Quincy Jones songs. He's what DJ Khaled wish he could be.
Then with starting Vibe magazine.
Vibe magazine, yes.
This album came out 89, Back on the Black. So, this is what I'll say, is that there was a transition. Old heads were pissed anyway, because there was a transition in music from between 89 to, we'll say 89 to 91. That time frame there's a huge transition in music. Because think about, like, by the time 91 comes, we're New Jack swinging it. So that's Joe. I'm gonna say, no, we're coming out of New Jack Swing?
No, we're going into it in 89.
Yeah, we're going into it. So so Jodeci, 91 is Jodeci.
Yeah.
Like, so you can either continue to evolve or stay stagnant. And you when you continue to evolve, you have that longevity. If he never tried to evolve, we wouldn't have gotten Off the Wall. We wouldn't have gotten Thriller. If there was maybe I speak from you all and said not evolving, like trying to do what they're doing, but you're staying within the sound of the time, not like how like some rappers now be like, well, I need to do a trap song. That's not what she's right. No, not at all. No, just the evolution of this is what we've been doing. Why don't we try this? Okay, like normally we use this key, but what if I do that button? What happens?
But he had regular jazz songs on this album too, so it wasn't like he left that. They just didn't like. I remember old heads not liking "I'll Be Good to You," and I loved that song when I was a kid with Chaka Khan and Ray Charles, and they were like, "Oh man, they got all this hippity bippity in there," And I'm like, "I'll be good to you." And they be like, "Oh man, they got Chaka Khan on Earth that blind man."
Old heads got a Tupac CD in their car.
Yeah, they do though. That's the part of it they won't tell you. They got their Me Against the World.
I love Tupac. That's my mama. I love Tupac. I'm telling you, if every year on Mother's Day, I can just play Dear Mama for her, straight. We're good.
Girl, you made my day.
She loves it. She loves that song. She absolutely loves Dear Mama.
Then think about we're talking about our age group. Think about it. Started Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, helped get that off the ground, and into its own thing. Like Scott just said, Vibe magazine, the Vibe Awards that were big. Then the TV show Vibe, if y'all remember that. Yeah, with Chris Spencer, and then with later on Sinbad or whatever. He just always wasn't stagnant. He just wasn't like, oh, I don't want to listen. And they said that he was just like, yo, so what's going on with y'all? Like, what's going? Like, let me know what's going on. Like, I'm just want to listen to you all talk about your music and what's going on now. And he would put his different slant on it. and he was super open. At least from what I've read about him, that he was super open to changes and open to evolution, which makes him one of the best producers of all time. I mean,
yeah. I just I shared a video in the group earlier about he was saying Michael Jackson wanted to take the violins off of "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," and he was
really?
like, "No, it's staying."
Those sessions are those things that like I wouldn't like Quincy to tell them stories like that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I wish we could see. Right. So like when they had the Thriller and the little documentary about the album and everything, like I wanted so much more because I just wanted to see more behind the scenes with it. Like I want to see those sessions. I want to see like because Mike was shady as hell and funny. Mike was funny and shady, but he knew what the hell he was talking about. And so I would love to have seen him and Quincy going back and forth about what Mike thought was right and Quincy thought was right, but knowing that it was not conflict, right? These are just two people disagreeing, but we're going to make this album. Like the album gonna come out. We're gonna do like we gonna call this shit off, right? Like this is it. So I would love to see more behind being able to see more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, because he had to trick Michael into Human Nature. It's a whole story. He had to trick him into it because the group Toto wrote it originally.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. And then he had heard about it. Well, originally Quincy, somebody like was playing it in the background while he called it was like somebody called him on voicemail and like old answer machine tape. And someone was playing something in the background while they were calling Quincy. And he only called them back because of what he heard in the background.
Like, I don't care.
And it was Toto's version of Human Nature. Yeah, it was Toto's version of Human Nature. And he's like, hey, whatever you talking about is bullshit. What was you playing in the background when you called me? Oh, man, that's Toto.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that shit.
Yeah, whatever you get whatever you want. You need $20,000, you got it. Anyway, what's that song behind you? He's like, oh, it's Toto. Oh, and he's like, shit, I can't tell Michael Toto wrote this. So he had them rewrite part of it and just give him the demo version. And Mike was like, oh, this is just amazing. And then he'd already recorded it. And he was like, yeah, them brothers Toto wrote it. He was like, you got me again, Quincy. You got me. Because he wouldn't have picked up Toto. They did that song after.
Mike didn't work with Quincy on Bad, did he?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why necessarily. I mean, I think Mike was trying to update his sound.
Yeah, he was trying to do something different himself.
I love Quincy was a straight shooter. There's a Will Smith in his book when he talks about his divorce from his first wife, and he didn't like. Quincy told him, look, give her half and move the fuck on with your life. You'll get that money back. Give her half, move on. And Will was like, no, Quincy said, Nick.
Oh, no. Ain't no Mike did. Quincy did produce all the Bad.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's like, give her half. He was like, look, he's like, now your kid's gonna have 2 Christmases. Give her half, move on. And he's and he and Will end up fighting his ex-wife on the divorce, like, and out of pride, right? Just didn't happen. And then going all that back and forth, and then finally we talked to Quincy. Then Quincy's like, "Nigga, didn't I tell your ass what to do? Because you're gonna get them. Like, give her half, you're gonna get that money back. Move the fuck on." But I've heard so many stories like that about. Like, you get Quincy on the phone. Quincy is like, nah, nigga, do this, do that, do that. Bye. Like, he's like, nah, they said do what now? Nah, you ain't gotta do none of that shit. All I gotta do is do that. All right. Like, he's done talking. He's done.
Hey, this cool ass Scott from the I Love 90s Music Podcast. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like it. on the SOLC Network. You finna get all the real deal on the 90s, the 2000s, and the splash of that 80s. Do it right now, man, and I'll be your friend.